back again. And we twins. And we...
Let me share it. Let me share it.
We twins. Okay. Oh, yeah. I like this a lot, actually. The lighting is not bad for Facebook because IG is black.
I'm always on the phone.
And you know what I did not do?
What you did not do?
The answer. The question. It's all right. It's okay. We're going to make it work. Hey, y'all. Oh, they're tuning in.
They're tuning in.
Hey. Hey, y'all. How are y'all doing? Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, right?
It is Tuesday. I've had to ask that like 4 times.
Man, I thought Thursday. It was
It's
Thursday.
Martin Luther the King's birthday.
I say it like this. Martha Luther the King.
Martha Luther the King.
I call him Martha Luther the King.
So blasphemous.
That's what I say.
Martin Luther King.
Martha Luther the King. Here, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. King.
All the dreams you have for us.
Thank you for your dreams.
Amen. Amen. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it this way. Because we have girl talk. And we're calling this girl talk concussion.
She just took my phone out.
Because we're sisters. Amen. Amen. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna answer another question. We did get some questions. And we want
Jelly
to
lighting hair.
Oh.
Yes, come through.
I appreciate y'all. We're going to get logged in, give y'all time to tune in, and then we did get another question, so we're going to answer that for you all tonight. Amen? Amen. We're going to answer that. And we appreciate y'all for tuning in, because you all could be anywhere on this evening. Y'all, you know they say it, church. These young folks, y'all praise Lord for these young folks, because they could be anywhere. On tonight.
She chose to be here.
Hallelujah. Okay. Amen. It is good to see y'all tuning in, though. We love it. We really do love it. And we appreciate you guys as well. We're going to go ahead and jump in with this question. She and I discussed it, but we want to read the question to you all as well. So you all can hear what's on the minds of these women. And we do appreciate you all for that part. We do appreciate you all for oh Lord, even giving us a chance to answer your questions, because y'all could ask anybody.
Yeah, she's dropping my phone. She's taking my phone, dropping my phone. Look here. Look at her. All right. Give us 1 second.
Oh my God. Okay. You know, so anywho, we have got to be honest with you all. We talked to you all about self-vulnerability last time.
Who told us to talk to y'all about that?
And then we started doing what we told y'all. And let's just say it got real in our lives. Like, she called me like, hey, this whole getting vulnerable self is whack. And then I had an episode today where I was like, on the phone, and she was like, why you look like a little girl? And I said, because that's how I feel. And I just start crying. But listen, when we are vulnerable with ourselves, sometimes that's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you're going to feel that way. Is it working?
No.
It's not?
No. This is yours.
No, that's what we want. That's what we want. We just want to see if it'll give us access. No, it's being foolish. It's okay. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to postpone the question because we don't have time to waste. We're going to answer that on the next one. But you want to talk about what happened with our experiences briefly?
If we give a brief recap of what we talked about last episode.
I agree.
And so last week we actually talked about self-vulnerability. And being vulnerable with yourself is literally opening yourself up to the possibility of harm or physical pain or emotional pain or what, all of that. And so the purpose behind self-vulnerability is to get to the real of who you are, the real of what you're dealing with, and the real behind why you are the way that you are. So when we decided we wanted to talk about self-vulnerability, I honestly was like, this is something that we are going to urge everybody else to do. Little did I know that I was going to have to face off with myself last week. this week.
Yeah.
And it got so ugly. Oh my gosh. So I am 27 today. It's not my birthday. I don't want to say it like it's my birthday, but I'm 27 years old right now. And I had some things happen to me when I was 12, from the age 12 to 14. I had some very awful things happen to me during that time. And, you know, as the good Christian woman that I am, I wanted to make sure that I forgave the person and all of this. And I wanted to move on with my life and, you know, grow from the situations, grow from my past. But little did I know that not addressing the pain that I felt and I experienced during that time, I was only suppressing it. And with the suppression of those feelings, I would do certain things so that I would never have to feel that pain or those emotions or that vulnerability again. You will never be able to control me again. You will never be able to be one up on me again.
Okay.
And because I was holding on to that power, oh my gosh, it affected so many areas of my life. And so I ended up watching Surviving R. Kelly. And if anybody saw Surviving R. Kelly, I know y'all have, because my timeline has been jumping with Surviving R. Kelly. If I survived R. Kelly, okay, not the physical R. Kelly, but it was a similar situation. And because of that, I never let my children go and experience anything. Because I don't want anybody to face or feel the pain that I felt.
Right.
But I didn't know the effect that it had on my marriage.
Yeah.
The effect that it had on the way that I parent my children. We should never parent our children out of fear of what may happen. Because I trust God.
Yeah.
And so I had so much revelation. And I had to call Jelly and I was like, bruh, I thought I was over this, but I am not over it. I'm having I'm feeling all of this pain, and it's good because acknowledging the pain that I actually felt, now I can really get over it. It's really possible to get over it when you actually acknowledge the pain. And so I'm excited about self-vulnerability. I'm excited about what's to come after facing that. So
I'm breathing this way because I just had my self-vulnerability situation today where I was triggered. And sometimes when we are triggered, we lose our grounding. And when I say we lose our grounding, we lose our peace. We lose all control over our emotions, over our thoughts. And I lost that today. And I was on the phone with her, texting her. She was like, enough, FaceTime. And she FaceTimed me. I'm sitting there looking miserable with my bonnet on. But the bottom line is this. I was triggered, and because I am where I am in my development of healing, I've learned suppression is a no-no.
No.
I've learned ignoring is a no-no. I've learned, that hurts, I don't want to talk about it, that's a no-no. So I knew we got to get to digging. Yeah. We told you our last episode, we're what we call professional hoes. And if you really look up the definition of a hoe, all a hoe is a gardening tool that digs up roots and weeds. So you can have a healthy garden, okay? And today she was my hoe today. She was asking me the right questions. She was helping me dig to get to the root, okay? Where they say, she said she loves you, Mik'hael. We were digging to get to the root, you see? And while she was asking the questions, it made me cry and cry and cry. And even now, I'm still thinking about the conversation we had because I really wanted that area of my life, I wanted to be resolved. And I want full healing, and I'm determined to get it and fight. No matter how uncomfortable it is, no matter how painful it is, I have my support system. I'm going to therapy on Thursday. Yay, big ups to my therapist. Because I have decided to put a support system around me as I heal and as I grow. And if you all think that you're just going to heal on your own, please think again. Build a support system around you. If you don't know who that is, ask God to send those people to your life. Because that's exactly what this is. This was a godsend, okay? So that's just a little bit about us. We want you all to know we are doing the work with you.
Yes, we are.
We're not putting on makeup and then getting on here like, I'm her and him. No, we doing the work, okay? We have our days where we like, you know what?
Forget this.
Yeah, take it away.
Have it. Have at it.
But return to sender, we're not doing it, okay? Let's dig in. So last time we talked about self-vulnerability, I'm naked, now what? I've taken my clothes off before myself. I've opened up to myself.
Now what?
We just told y'all now what. gets real. That's what.
It's real.
That's what. So something we discovered both this past week was something we call emotional blind spots. Can you break that down to us? What is an emotional blind spot?
All right. An emotional blind spot is basically what Angelica was talking about with the trigger. So I have become vulnerable with myself. Now I'm exposing those things that have once hurt me. And now emotions are coming out of nowhere. I am being flooded by all of these different kind of emotions. And so, like, something triggered me, like surviving R. Kelly. How does a TV show trigger you? Well, because if you've suppressed so many feelings for so long, and then you actually see something that resonates with your spirit, you're gonna feel that. And so, you know, it's gonna hit you out of nowhere. Like, where did this come from? Whoa, I was not expecting to snap on my kids like that, or I was not expecting to. My mom is going in on these. The dog. Okay. So, you know, no, I wasn't expecting to face off with this. I was not expecting to have to trip out real quick. But once you are vulnerable with yourself and the root is exposed, now you're going to be exposed to all of those elements. Everything. You're going to feel the cold. You're going to feel the rain. You're going to feel the heat. It's real. It's really real. So let the dog out.
While she's letting the dog out, she just mentioned you're going to feel the cold. You're going to feel this. Well, in the emotional realm, you're going to feel possibly emotions that were there at the time of your pain. You know, so for me, I felt the shame. You know, I felt the guilt. I felt being alone. When you decide to open up to yourself, those emotional blind spots are coming. It could be a smell that you smell that could trigger you and take you back to that emotional place. And next thing you know, you mad or you sad. Y'all ever had a real bad breakup and y'all song come on in Target? You shopping for some toothpaste at Target.
Toothpaste at Target.
And the song comes on in Target and it triggers you because it makes you think back to the ex that you just had a real bad breakup.
Now you never going back to Target.
That's an emotional blind spot.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Now you can be out in public, see a Target bag, and get triggered.
Yeah.
Because you just thought back to when you heard the song in Target that made you think back to your ex. These are emotional blind spots. And if you are going to be vulnerable with yourself, you've got to know emotional blind spots are coming and you cannot take them away. Why do we have emotional blind spots? Because a layer has been taken off.
Absolutely.
So when you take a layer off, suppression can no longer happen. So those emotions are going to do what?
They're going to rise.
They're going to rise, okay? We're just trying to get y'all ready for the rising. Because this week was full of risings for us.
Full of rising. The glory of the Lord.
Woo! Full of rising, okay? So we just want you all to know your triggers are going to increase. You're going to be triggered more because you took the layer off. So now, we just want y'all to know.
Yes.
Okay?
And because of that rising, oh no, I ain't dealing with this.
Ah, no. Yeah. We call that a relapse. If you're not careful, if you're not determined to keep going with your self-vulnerability, you're going to want to do what she said. Put these clothes back on here.
Yeah, forget this.
I don't got time. I ain't got to deal with this.
I'm good.
It's 2019. I'm grown. I got to deal with this.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
And then you're starting the cycle all over again.
And you put the layers back on.
Yeah.
And then the suppression starts.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Stay naked.
Stay naked.
Stay naked.
Go naked. Stay naked.
Because the bottom line is this, you guys. Open awareness breeds the increase of emotional blind spots and suppressed emotions. So, don't put the clothes back on. Keep them off. But this is why your support system is important. So when you feel that pain coming and them triggers increase, you need to have your support system right there to call. Okay, walk you through it. What that
Why is that? That is our life right now.
It's our life.
Because I was like, look, I'm good. Jelly, I'm not doing this. Maybe God is not calling me to be her healed, empowered, and ready in him because this hurts too much. Realizing that I'm not good. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever thought that you were something and then you realize that you weren't what you thought you were. Like, I'm not as dope as I think I am right now. God wants us to be. He wants us to walk in that dopeness. But right now, with the suppression of everything that I've felt, the suppression of emotions, I can't be who God has called me to be.
No.
And that's why he wants us to do the work. That's why he wants us to be vulnerable and say, look, God, this is where I am. I am hurt. God, I am broken.
Yeah.
What do I do right now? Because if we don't do that, if we never come to that position in our life where we are honest with ourselves and we're honest with God, then what can he do with us?
Yeah.
It's trying to read a closed book. That's a good analogy.
Now, God can't read through closed books.
He
That's not the
can.
point.
He wants you to be able to read
He wants
in the
you
book
to
too.
open up, and he wants you to
Yeah.
read your own pages. When you can start reading yourself, honey, you're growing.
You're growing. I don't need you to. I heard this grown woman say, who gonna check me, boo? And it wasn't off Atlanta Housewives neither, but she said, who gonna check me? And I immediately thought in my mind, like, why don't you check you?
Okay.
As a grown woman, we gotta be able to say, look, I ain't right now.
Yeah.
I'm tripping.
Yeah.
I gotta be vulnerable with myself and be able to admit where I'm wrong, where I fall, where I'm weak.
Yeah. Or how this is making me feel.
Absolutely.
Because I notice when I'm triggered, I turn into a 6-year-old real quick because my abuse happened at the age of 6. Most people do not understand. We as humans tend to stop growing, or our growth is stunted at the age that pain or trauma happened to us.
We grown women walking around.
Grown women 6, honey. That was me.
Yeah.
I was married at 22, 6 up here. What a 6-year-old doing being somebody's wife?
No, he was mean to me today.
We're just trying to help you all understand that if we don't tackle where those triggers are coming from, if we don't tackle the root, it's going to be bad. So let's deal into the types of emotions that surface. Well, even before we deal with that, her mom, we were brainstorming this week. And Mama just jumped in the conversation. She said, yeah, because
Nobody asked her.
I was writing fast because she was spitting some stuff. So what did she say she was doing to herself when she was going through her naked process?
Okay, so first, guilt.
She felt guilt.
Yeah. And then she started to police herself.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna handle this situation myself.
Okay.
And then you start to protect yourself. And then you punish yourself. So I see the certain things that happen. I feel the way that I feel towards it. Now, because I never want to feel that pain, let me go on and get that together. Come on, let's handle that.
Okay.
And then because of that, now I'm protecting myself. I've put a wall up
Okay.
in my life to where I'm not allowing people in and I'm not allowing myself out. So we feel guilt, we police.
And then you feel stupid that you just
protect.
put that wall up.
So then we punish ourselves.
So now you feeling
stupid little
shame.
thing.
Yeah, now you beating up on yourself. Now you feeling shame because you know you need the help.
Yep.
But because you're hurt, you don't even want to let somebody in to help you with the pain. Have you ever seen a wounded animal and you try to help them and they
gonna bite you.
Yeah, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. That's what she was saying she was starting to do. Policing herself, and then you'll punish yourself because you being a dummy that don't want to help yourself, okay? Helping yourself is asking for help, okay? And then she said, when we put that wall up, and then she said, when we feel that shame, the pain we feel from that shame causes us to relapse. And what did we say earlier? A relapse is going back to this. Canceling self-vulnerability, putting the clothes back on with yourself, and you're basically deciding that you're not going to be honest and open with yourself anymore. So what we have to do is be very careful that as we're deciding, you know what, I'm going to be vulnerable with myself. Okay, I got these emotional blind spots coming. Be very careful and patient with yourself when you feel that pain and say, okay, I don't have to close back up again. I don't have to go back in my shell. I've come too far to go back in my shell. If I go back in my shell now, A, B, C, D, and E is going to happen. I'm going to call him again. I'm going to call her again. I'm going to start doing this again. I'm going to start doing that. And then it's undoing everything that you've done. So let's make it practical. Self-vulnerability is a step of saying, I'm acknowledging where I am. I'm acknowledging the pain I'm feeling. Next, it comes to doing the work, and that's when the onion model comes in. So break down to them what the onion model is.
Because self-vulnerability is not a one-stop shop. It's not, okay, I'm dealing with this one certain circumstance, and I'm good for the rest of my life. No. When you peel back the anger, then you're going to expose insecurity. When you peel back insecurity, you're going to expose hurt. When you pull back hurt, you're going to expose embarrassment. It's layer upon layer upon layer, just based off the age that you are. Just think about every year you're adding another layer of something onto why you are the way that you are, why we are the way that we are. And so when I expose this, or when I peel off this first layer, I got to do the work on the anger. Okay. But then there's more work to be done for the insecurity. Okay. You know? And so it's so important to not stop at the first trigger or not stop at the first symptom of whatever's going on, because when we're vulnerable with ourselves, we got to get to that root. Yeah. And that root is so deep. It's so deep. And we may think we're good once we conquer anger. Yeah. Well, I'm not as angry no more. I didn't go off on her at the grocery store.
I didn't knock her lights out. I didn't get locked up this weekend.
And that's progress, because maybe last weekend you did get locked up. But there's more to it, because there's a reason why you had to stop yourself from knocking her lights out. So maybe next time she won't even be able to get to you at all. Maybe she looking at you crazy don't require a response, because now I'm dealing with the insecurity of being bullied when I was a kid, and I'm never going to let anybody else look at me crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just different things like that. There's so many depths to self-vulnerability. So we've got to start peeling back those layers and exposing the really real behind what we're going through.
So this week, if you have already done step 1, and step 1 is from our last video of becoming self-vulnerable, taking those clothes off, that's step 1. Understand you're naked now. You're naked before yourself. You're exposed to yourself. You're letting it all hang out now. Doing the work is going to bring an onion model to your life. Okay? When you're doing your onion model, understand you have to have the mind power to be patient with yourself. My sister tells me this because she sees me doing my work as well. My sister said to me, you have to calm down. Yeah. You're not going to get through this work if you don't calm down. You got to calm down. The Lord taught me what calm stands for my specific life. Come on. C stands for casting your cares. In order for me to calm down, I have to cast my cares upon the Lord. What does that mean? Casting my cares means venting to God.
We get to vent to God. We get to tell him certain things.
I say, Lord, this is bothering me, and this is bothering me because, and I don't like it. And I really don't like that you allowed this to happen. But since you allowed it to happen, teach me how you want me to deal with this. Lord, this burns me up. Lord, this angers me. Lord, this frustrates me. Lord, this makes me feel stuck and alone. And
I think so often we feel like we've got to present our best self to God.
Okay, lies.
When God knows our true self. Okay, sorry. So we've got to present our Father God, in the name of Jesus. I thank you so much for everything that you've done for us. And yes, we do. We want to glorify God for what he's done. But there's times when you got to go to him and be really real and be really raw, because he already knows anyway. And you putting on that pretentious, whatever.
Y'all know the word.
You know it. When you put that on before God, then he's like, okay, how long is it going to take before you really show me the hand that you're dealing with right now, so that I can give you the proper techniques to deal with the hand that you have. Like, we got to be real, and that's what self-vulnerability is teaching. It's teaching be real with yourself and be real with God. Be real with God and be real with yourself, because that is the starting point. That's the X marks the spot. That's where you get to, on your mark, get set, go.
Yeah. So we got calm.
Yeah.
C, cast your cares.
I love it.
A, align yourself.
What does that mean?
Align yourself means you have to position yourself. You have to be very intentional on where you're putting yourself.
That means God will be done?
Yeah, God will be done, but you have to align yourself with even things that can keep you in his presence. For example, I had to cut out Love and Hip Hop Atlanta because it triggered me into areas, and it made my alignment hard. It just made it difficult for me to be aligned with God's way. It made it difficult for me to be aligned with God's principles. Why? Because it fed my flesh. It made the ratchet want to rise. It made the ratchet want to rise. I was adapting too many of those ways.
It don't take all that though.
Well, I had to not. Okay. So align yourself with God's will. Align yourself with God's way. After you do that, we have calm. C-A-L. You want to live in His word. Because when you live in His word, that becomes your nourishment. That becomes your guiding light.
Yeah.
Okay? You want to live in His words. You want to live in His way. And then M, you want to meditate on His word. You want to eat that stuff. You want to digest it so you can actually apply it. Now, this all takes time. This all takes practice. This all takes discipline. So this goes back to being patient with yourself. Y'all got to be patient because we're learning the same thing. We have to be patient because the enemy wants to rush you. He wants to make you feel like you're supposed to be whole right away.
Right now.
Well, now that you feel like you're messed up, aren't you supposed to be better right now? See, you're never going to be better. That's what he does to me. You're never going to be normal. You're never going to be functional in this and that area. Don't let the enemy rush you. The Lord ain't rushing. He just wants you to walk with Him.
Yeah.
Okay? So, listen, if you all are deciding you're going to be vulnerable with yourself, great. If you all have already decided you're going to be vulnerable and you're ready to do the work, understand the onion model is coming and you got to be patient with yourself. Okay? Anything else before we close out?
I'm sure there is. Hold on 1 second. No. We just got to be willing and open and understand the purpose behind self-vulnerability. There is a purpose behind the pain. There is a purpose behind every single thing that you've ever faced in your life. And we've got to be big girl enough to be ready to meet the purpose. So we've got to face the pain. We have to face the pain.
And we got to endure it. If I let the pain make me tap out.
Overtake me, yeah.
You know, people be in the ring and they losing and they hit the floor. They say, I'm tapping out. And we want you to say, don't you tap out.
Tap out. Don't tap out.
Don't tap.
Because we're strong.
Yeah.
And we've used the sense of being a strong black woman in the wrong manner. We've allowed things and circumstances to say, oh, they're not going to break me. And that's excellent. No, don't be broken by your circumstances. But allow being strong to mean I'm facing the things that I've never been willing to face before.
Okay.
And it doesn't have power over me.
That's good. Like my situation, I had to call her and we had to roll with it. We had to fight through with it, okay? So, bottom line, you guys, we have some tools coming. Absolutely. We're going to finish these last 2 episodes for series 1. And we have some stuff coming for you guys, so stay tuned with us. We'll have those tools. If you all have not subscribed, we're going to put the link down again on this video. This video will come down in 24 hours, so you can subscribe and tap in. So once we edit these videos and post them on our YouTube channel, you get the notification first, okay? We love y'all, and we will talk to y'all next week.
Would you like to pray?
Let's do it. God, you're great. God, you're awesome. God, we magnify you. God, we glorify you. We want you to come into our hearts. We want you to heal us. So you can empower us, so we can be ready for the purpose you had in mind when you created us. Thank you for creating us. Thank you for birthing us. God, for those who do not have a support system on this call or on this live, and they desire a support system so they can begin to heal, so they can be empowered, so they can be ready. God, strategically create and place that support system around them right now in Jesus' name. Open their hearts to that new support system, oh God. Open their minds to that new support system, oh God. Let motives be pure. Yes. Teach us how to cast our cares upon you, oh God. Teach us how to be open with you, oh God. And teach us how to be open with ourselves. God, we thank you for the healing that's coming. We thank you for the roots that are going to be uprooted and ripped up. And we thank you for the new seeds that are going to be sown and planted. In Jesus' name, we do pray for your name's sake. Amen. Amen. Love y'all. And we'll talk to y'all next week. Okay? Bye-bye.
It's a culture being